It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray must be mad at us for something, because not only is he not here today, but he literally sat on the other side of the theater at a screening that we were at when we were the only three people in the theater. What is going on with Murray?
I don't know. You know what? And he actually didn't sit in the front row, which he normally does when he's not sitting with us. It was one row below us.
One row below, but on the other side. It's like, what's going on? What did I say?
I'll explain this later, to be quite honest.
Fair enough. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, and share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a movie rental membership, then you can do a movie rental only and not a membership. And dare us to see a terrible movie, which we will, if it played in cinemas anywhere in the world. And that's enough of that. Let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadow Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
I don't know about you, but I'm kind of feeling that our music is just super funky awesome.
It's good.
It's good grooving music. You could be driving along in your sports car with your top down, cranking this up, listening to Film Rage.
Or you could just
on
be
the speedway,
reviewing some movies to it.
That's right. You could do that. You could listen to us and then decide not to see some movies.
Yes.
But what movies did we, fortunately or unfortunately, get to see?
Well, sir,
last week?
We saw Missing. Yeah.
We did.
So Missing, and this is going to be shocking to you.
Shocking to me, or
yes, no, to you,
general?
To you personally.
Oh, okay.
Missing was a confusing mess of a movie. I had no idea what was going on. We got to watch Storm Reed as June Allen solve the mystery of her missing mother by typing away on her computer. The whole film is screenshots that left me scratching my head. We got to read a lot of text messages that had a bunch of nonsense words that don't make any sense. Some of it was comprehensible, but then some gibberish would get typed at the end. What is LOL or LMK or QVW or KSILF or whatever other nonsense was on the screen? How could anybody follow this? I don't even know how to review this, as I was literally completely lost. How is watching someone surf the internet a movie? Maybe I'll make my own movie and set up a camera to film me purchasing some music online or doing an online continuing education course. That would be about as entertaining as this was, only my movie would actually make sense. I don't even think a lot of what I saw was even a thing. Anyways, this wasn't for me. Perhaps if I had any idea of what was happening, it would not have been a rage for me, but that is exactly what it was. It was a rage. I was lost. I don't know what was going on.
I know.
How is this a movie? Type. What are we watching?
Well, let me tell you what, and then we can talk about it.
All right.
Before watching this movie, for all those who are listening to us now, I highly suggest you accept all the updates and agreements put in place by Google.
Okay.
Now that our disclaimer is officially informed, we can now proceed. This was this was for the most part an interesting YouTube Google training session.
Okay.
And it's probably the best Google YouTube training session that I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure they did not miss hitting every single feature that Google has to offer, except for maybe one. Google has a secondary security approval process, which they failed to feature. Perhaps it was put in place. Yes, it was very convenient. Perhaps it was put in place after this movie, because if they showed that feature, this movie would have been a lot shorter. I have to admit, they did a pretty good job of the cat and mouse by only using web, phone, and tech features. The downside is I look at my phone and my computer all day at work. I don't like an entire plot of a movie done in those same devices. I mean, I could get picky about the predictable outcome or a lot of the gaps in some of the technology, but then we wouldn't have got this movie. I did feel sorry for Bryce as I'm watching it. I knew he was completely lost in this movie. Almost every single thing that was happening, he was confused. But that is, for me, what kind of made me enjoy this just a little bit more.
Everybody should have to watch it with me beside them.
That's right. If you're going to watch it, this just brings you that much joy watching Bryce's face almost every 5 seconds or turning and going, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Can you translate that? But Joaquim de Alameda was by far the best thing in this movie as Javi.
Javi, yeah,
Javi. Yeah, he was the best.
He was.
I have to be honest, this type of movie that is basically a movie shot on someone's computer or CCTV or phone or backup camera on every single shot of this film is a type of movie that I don't really enjoy. Did I think this was done well with the technology that they used? Absolutely. Will teenagers and 20-year-olds like this film? Probably more than me. Absolutely, definitely. Did I hate everything about this? No, especially not seeing the movie beside Bryce. That in itself almost made it a mondo. I was not surprised by one thing in the entire movie, and you can even ask Bryce, as he heard me predicting the entire movie as it unfolded. But because of Javi. Sorry, it's Espanol. It's
Espanol.
Javi. Yeah. The J's are H's.
Yes.
Because of Javi.
So good.
And it was a pretty good depiction of how this could potentially have happened. It gets a meh from me. But I want to make this very, very, very clear. This is not a type of movie that I enjoy. I don't mind subtitles, but I don't really want to watch somebody interact with their phone and their computer for an entire movie. And that's really what it was. There was not...
And type nonsense.
There was not
even words.
Well, and there's so many shots that it's just like, does she just live with her camera on 24/7? She must, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm just thinking, is that the society that people live in now? Like, I know everybody's recording everything all the time, but do people actually, when they go on the internet,
we're recording this,
they have their camera? Yeah, but that's because we intentionally planned it that way. Oh. I mean, does she just wake up in the morning and start looking at her computer and goes, well, you know what makes working with my computer better is seeing a monitor of myself doing things, because that's the viewpoint that we got to see pretty much through the entire movie, is her sitting at her computer, or whenever they would cut this I think the technology that they did this with, I thought this was pretty well done, because even when they would go from one space to another, or when she went out into the car, instead of them saying, okay, well, now you don't have any way of showing anything, she doesn't have her phone. And so what do? They show the backup camera. So all the edits were put together. Like, it's like you could kind of guess this was probably done during COVID, I'm guessing, because they didn't really have to worry about anybody being around anybody.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Right? Yeah, no, you didn't. But the funniest thing was we get out of the cinema and it was almost like an evolution. Bryce looks at me and he's like, I didn't get that. I don't understand any of that. And then Murray comes out and Murray turns to me and he's like, okay, I got half of that. He looks at you. He's like, I got more than him. And I definitely know I didn't get more than you because every single thing in the movie I was following, and there was some pretty clever things that were done in it, but it's just, I don't know. I think this is for an audience. This is for like a TikTok audience or, it's for a younger audience because it's a younger character pretty much taking care of everything. And yeah, it's not what you originally really call a movie. It's like just clipped together CCTV footage. So
I heard a rumor that you got a Murray comment about this movie.
I do. I'm going to save the Murray comment for the Murman Minute.
Oh,
and I'm going to review both. I'm going to quote him directly. So in the Murman Minute, people,
that's exciting.
You'll get to hear the wisdom that is Murray.
That's what's known as a teaser.
And you will get to hear his ratings from these two films.
Very exciting.
I'm keeping you in suspense.
Yes.
Very exciting.
All right, what else do we see?
That was missing. Now we're going to talk about Son.
The Son.
My son?
Not your son. Just the Son.
A son? Asin.
Not like the burning rock in the sky, but the Son as in
the offspring.
Yes.
And not the band.
Correct.
Gotcha. So this film, The Son.
Yes.
This film had so much opportunity to show us a powerful story about a family dealing with a son with mental illness and depression. And there was a couple of times in it that it felt like it might get close. But 2 minutes with Tony Hopkins can't save a weak cast and a script and a story that wasn't moving or insightful whatsoever.
I thought he was in for 3 minutes.
The choices made... No, I would say maybe 2.
I'm going with 3.
Okay, so I'll go with 3.
I am.
The choice... Okay, you do that.
I
will. The choices made... Okay, you do that. That's apparently this is foreshadowing. The choices made by Wolverine and the Jurassic Park doctor lady were not great. And yes, I know the film wants us to see their flaws, but seeing things... or setting things up throughout the film just felt so flat. Plus, the ending was transparent and quite awful. And did I mention I pretty much predicted this entire film as well? Like,
as did I.
How does that button go again? That was easy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but that's not the button I want to use. The button I'm trying to go is rage.
Yes. Well,
and we have lots to unpack.
Here's what I thought of The Son.
3 minutes. 3 minutes of Anthony Hopkins.
Y'all ready for this?
Ba, 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 ba.
All right. The Son is from the same director as The Father. And I can only assume that the Holy Spirit is up next. I'm kidding, but some part of me may actually think that actually might come to fruition. At any rate, all the potential that writer-director Florian Zeller showed with The Father comes to a screeching halt with this effort. It is a failed attempt at emotional manipulation at its worst. This story is about a father's ill-conceived attempts at doing what he thinks he needs to do to be a good dad. For a film that wants to shine a light on mental illness, it sure finds a way to make it all seem so superficial. Other than a 3-minute segment in the middle where we get Anthony Hopkins dominating the screen, this is a complete throwaway film. It evokes no emotion for such an emotional subject. Hugh Jackman's performance as Peter is insipid and uninspired. Zen McGrath as Peter's son, Nicholas, failed to evoke any sympathy whatsoever. Laura Dern just went through the motions, and Vanessa Kirby was as bland as a soda cracker. The film had some meaningless shots of clothes in a washing machine on multiple occasions and some heavy-handed foreshadowing that made the final dramatic moment not so dramatic at all. This was 3 minutes of Mondo with Anthony Hopkins and 2 hours of rage. Such promise was shown with the father, but Zeller now needs to prove to me that it was no fluke, and that when Holy Spirit comes out, or whatever the next film is, maybe he can prove it to me that he's not, a total hack. Because this was the work of a hack. It was terrible. So, as I was mentioned, son, it's a complete and utter rage. Just a complete and utter rage. And that ridiculous sequence at the end where he's having this fantasy was just the icing on the cake that just I was already gonna give this a rage, but now this has the potential to be in my the bottom 5 of the year, because I threw up a little in my mouth when that came. It's what are you doing? Your movie's already terrible. Why are you trying to make it more terrible by having just the most? Everything was so manipulative and just didn't land at all. And it was just, I hated this movie.
And not well manipulated either.
No.
I
like getting manipulated if it's done well.
Yeah.
It's
It's my favorite thing is being manipulated.
There you go.
There was just no power in anything, in any of the lines, in any of the, other than the Hopkins scene, there was no power. Everything else just seemed flat. And
that scene was so well written, and it's where is the rest of the what happened to the rest of the movie? It's I was just baffled.
This could have been so good, with the content that they were doing. This could have been so good.
It could have been. I think honestly, I think they had the wrong cast. I
would agree.
I would not have cast that kid. I just had.
Yeah.
I don't think no matter what lines he was spewing, I was not going to have any sympathy for him.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Obviously, they kind of maybe made that character because it's kind of you don't know what's going through his mind the whole time, but at the same time,
fine, it's but I was just
it's just he wasn't connecting to the audience in any way.
Well,
we should have had an emotional attachment to him.
To anything.
To the parents, it was you knew they were making bad decisions, and it was it was
which is once again fine, but I should care that they're making bad decisions, and
you're right. It's true that they
make bad decisions. Yeah, it's just, but I'm just I don't really give a crap.
You know what it was too? Is there was no real sense of urgency.
No, it's just
nothing. It was kind of okay, this is happening, and no big deal. I'm sorry, if Hugh Jackman was really trying to be a good dad, most dads, when they find out their kid is cutting, do things a little differently.
Yeah.
Right? and just, yeah, I don't know. This, through the whole movie, I couldn't connect to anything.
It was poopy.
Unfortunately. I really wanted to, too, because this could have been so good.
Yeah, well, the father was good. I thought the son would be good, too.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Well, I'm looking forward to Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Holy Spirit should be good.
Or maybe it's going to be evil spirit.
If it comes out as the Holy Spirit, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
Yeah. Well, they could
I think
still
it might. I really do.
The grandparents. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Who knows?
Father. What is... Yeah, it does kind of make sense.
Whatever it is,
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hope he bottled whatever he did with the father, and he opens up that bottle for his next script, because this
maybe he just needs Olivia Colman in the next movie.
Well, that always helps.
I mean, if Olivia Colman's in here, she could have brought it to him, man. Just for being her.
Quite possibly. Yes. Rage!
Oh, our sweet, sweet merman. This is our plug, by the way, because part of the reason Merman couldn't be here today is we can't be together in person. It's a little complicated, but when we can't get together, Murray doesn't have a computer that actually has proper audio. So because we can't get together, it doesn't make sense that Murray dial in and his sound is crap. So he makes a personal decision to not log in and sound like Satan. So, Murman Minute today.
I think he sounds fine.
He sounds evil. But he's his computer that he had been using is dead now, so it doesn't work. So here's a direct quote from the Merman for the Murman Minute. Both of these films were meh, though I imagined I enjoyed the second one more than Heckle and Jekyll in the back row. And then he did a winky angry face emoji.
Did we disturb his enjoyment of the sun?
Yes. You know, Murray's biggest complaint in the movie is that he can't have a perfectly silent cinema like he would at home in his own house. And every time anything happens, like a drop of popcorn drops, he looks over his shoulder, or if somebody, shuffles in their seat, he looks over, and I'm just like, that's part of the movie experience for me. But, Bryce and I were extremely annoyed.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm with Murray. I want that theater to be absolutely silent, but if it's that bad, something has to be said, especially if it's just me, you, and Murr in the theater.
Well, that's
in fact,
my
I was
thought.
talking extra loud so he could enjoy my comments.
Yeah, me too. I was doing it too, hoping that he would hear it.
Exactly.
But apparently,
we wouldn't have to talk so loud if he wouldn't have sat on the other side of the theater.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yes.
Then you know what? But it's just one of those moments of Murray that makes us love him that much more.
Yes. All right. Well, that, as they say, is that.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, my sweet, sweet rage. Oh, I love you so. Let me count the ways. 1,000, 2 1,000, and go all the way up to 1,000 today. 3 1,000.
No, you're not.
I guess that's only just 3 1,000s. So it's not very. I think this is the first time I've ever raged about this, and thank you for also reminding me of it. But my rage this week is casting, and it's not just for the Sun. It's also for Missing as well, because I didn't think the cast in that first one, the Missing, was also very strong. So for me, I think like when you see the power when Joaquim de Alameda has when he takes over the screen, like he just takes over the screen. It didn't matter who was anywhere near him. He just envelops the screen.
I must admit, I love
one character. Yeah, the one character in this film is by a super powerful, experienced actor.
Yeah.
And the rest of it carrying on the shoulders of this young kid doing technology, which, it wasn't powerful. And then the same thing with the Sun. It's like, and I mean, who doesn't like Hugh Jackman in an action film? He does an amazing job. I've seen him in singing roles, which he can't sing, so why do they cast him there? And now they're putting him in dramatic roles where I think it's just overstepped his capabilities for that type of film. And I was most disappointed with Laura Dern, actually, because I've seen her act herself crazy, and this, was just like she dialed it in. So yeah, this is my first rage for casting, and to me it was a bad casting week.
I tend to agree with everything you said.
Well, my rages are usually good.
Are they really? Sometimes,
Mostly, yeah.
Sometimes you phone them in.
Yeah, it's true.
As do I.
But sometimes I'm having such a good week, there's nothing really to rage about. I just have to dig deeper into my soul, because there's always things buried in there.
There always is. Okay. My rage is 3 films that were on my Rage 5 Worst Films of 2022 got nominated for multiple Academy Awards. And even worse, my 2 worst films of the year, Top Gun Maverick and Avatar, Way of the Water, or Way of Water. I always want to put that "the" in there.
Who cares?
Whatever. They got nominated for Best Picture. Yeah.
Wow.
They were my number 1 and number 2 worst movies of the year. And their Best Picture? Well, am I that out of touch?
Yeah, no, you're not. I don't understand how people could watch those movies and say
Best of the year?
Like I understand people
if someone
liking
it, yeah, fine,
I can get it because of the technology maybe, or the action. If you like planes, it's good, or if you like lots of stuff done underwater with children doing stuff, maybe. But like the story is not like it's not a great written. Neither one of them are great stories. They're
I already saw Star Wars.
Stories.
I didn't need to see Star Wars on Earth with planes.
Yeah, dude, it's true. And there's too many sequels for that one too.
Exactly. Anyway, so
like there should be no sequel that ever gets, like, if it's a sequel, it's not allowed to be nominated.
That's
because
a
if
good
the
rule.
original movie,
If
original movie was not good enough to be nominated, other than for technology, which I think that's the only thing Avatar, the original, won for. There's no way in hell that the second one should win anything, but that's me.
So long story short, they need to blow up the Academy and start over. That's my rage.
Yeah, the Academy, to your point, like, of all of the Academy is held in such the highest regard, and when you find out how these things actually win, it's the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. You don't even have to have seen the movie, and they still get to vote.
Yeah,
like, just because
insane.
they're part of the Academy, they're allowed to cast a vote. Like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It just totally negates any level of professionalism in actual, like,
you should have to answer a questionnaire on all the movies.
Yeah, like, you should be able to pass a test. What was this movie about? Who was in it? Like,
if you didn't see all the movies that were nominated, then you don't get the vote. Because how can you pick the best if you didn't see them all? And yep.
Yeah, no, I'm totally on board. Like, I mean, sure, you don't have to be there to nominate it. I mean, that's obviously another committee. They might have had to see every movie in the world, because otherwise, how could they just nominate the ones that they picked?
But, okay, if you say so.
Well, but think about it, right? Yep. Like, how many foreign films? Like, you talked about your list from last year. My top 10, like, most of them weren't even in theaters very long. Like, they weren't even ones that most people saw.
Yeah,
because
a lot of them were 1 week and done.
Yeah, or we saw them in the festival.
Yeah,
circuit,
or one night.
And so why aren't these films being? Yeah, the award show as it comes through. There's only one award. Well, technically 3 that really matter to us.
Yes,
and that's the Film Rage Awards. Because there's only one from each of us.
Indeed.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
I know you're not going to like what I have to say here.
Oh, we've got something for the lists?
Oh, we have something for the lists. I've thought about what you were whining about last week.
I don't remember me whining at all last week, but go on.
And you specifically said, I don't want to watch 8 Kelsey Grammar movies. And I'm saying, you know what, bitch? We're watching 8. Well, maybe not 8. We only have to watch 4. And potentially less.
Okay.
Because we only have to watch every other one.
Yeah. Okay.
We're making this
How
list,
many do we even know that
watch them.
Have you done the research? Do you know that they've been in theaters?
I don't know any of that. But I can find that out really quickly.
Okay.
I'm just saying we're going to make this list. We don't have to make it now.
I think I've seen one or two.
We've got so much time. We've got so much time. It's like
Murray
wasn't here. This is clogging up the pipes.
This is some compelling podcasting going on right now. We're gonna look at Kelsey
Well,
Grammar movies and find out if they were in theaters so that we can add them to the list of crap that we got to watch to see if he's going to be on the doubted list.
Well, mind you,
I suggest
just reminding you.
I suggest everybody take their little player and skip ahead about 5 minutes.
Or don't, and find out how each one of these movies. I have a feeling that Christmas in Paradise did not go to cinemas,
you
but
think?
I'm not sure if that's true.
I think that's true.
Do you think it was a made-for-TV movie?
I think there's no way it was in a theater. Okay, just go on. It wasn't in a theater. What else you got? Does he even have 8 movies that have been released in a theater?
He has to have had it.
Does he?
Released in a theater.
Does he really?
Maybe. You know what? It's true. I don't really want to look at this today.
Yeah,
'Cause
this is a lot of work.
I'm already sad. This is a lot of work.
Okay.
But let me tell you, people, for
that's
next
fine.
week, we will be watching a Kelsey Grammer movie.
Fine. Well,
Bryce is going to find it.
We'll get this all together offline here, and
But you know
come
what?
up with a list where they've been released in theaters. I'm sure there's 8 of them because I think he's been in 9,000 movies, 8,900.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
92
all
of them
bad.
are made for TV, but
Yeah. Well, and I think we had a pretty good. We got, other than the rages we were delivered from Casey, the God of Rage.
yeah.
We had a pretty easy year last year. The year before was the year of Denise Richards.
It was awful.
And that was a bad year.
That was
So you know
terrible
what?
year.
We need to have some more suffering. I'm just saying, we started off the year with some pretty easy going rage, and we need to get to some depths of hell. And I think no one can deliver quite like Denise Richards, like Kelsey Grammer.
We'll see. Nobody can match Denise Richards. I mean, let's be honest. That was.
I don't know.
There's no way. There's going to be something. Kelsey Grammer will give some smirk and that'll make me smile. But there's nothing that made me smile in anything Denise Richards was in.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, sir.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce was excited to find out he didn't pull High School Musical 3 from Jim's Dare Bag of Torture until he found out that Martin Lawrence was the star of Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Then he offered to sacrifice himself and pull again, but to no avail. This week, will Jim finally pull the dreaded High School Musical 3? Will he pull another Demance film from Bryce's bag of evil romance and musicals? Or will he be lucky enough to find another mistake that Bryce let slip through? But now let's check in with Bryce and see if the ever-funny Cedric the Entertainer brings enough humor to counterbalance the, what's this say here? Most repulsive comedian of all time, Martin Lawrence. Guess there are no Bad Boys or Bad Boys 2 fans around here. And I wanted to be the one who broke Bryce. I guess if Jim does it, I still count that as a win. Hee.
All right. Here goes.
I fucking love Casey. It just has to be said.
That makes one of us. But this didn't come from his bag.
No, this came from
yours.
me. This came from me.
So Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins is a cliche wrapped in a stereotype, wrapped in a really mean-spirited movie. The awful script is matched by the awful performance of Martin Lawrence. He has a knack for being offensive without any humor whatsoever. This time around, writer-director Malcolm D. Lee, along with Lawrence, dragged down such actors such as James Earl Jones and Michael Clark Duncan to their level.
No.
Yes. It's a
MCD?
Yeah.
No.
It's a formulaic movie that fails to even live up to the low bar of the formula. How is it possible to make a film that is supposed to be funny that did not make me even crack a smile at any point? 1 hour and 54 minutes. I did not laugh once. There was lots of eye rolling and some uncomfortable squirming, but no laughter. I will never understand why Martin Lawrence has a career. This was just like everything else the man is in. Unwatchable dreck. I hated this film. It was a rage. Everybody in it was awful. And he brings everybody down. And it's just bad. And why did it get made? We've seen the movie of the kid that got famous and then comes back to his, hometown to spend time with his family that he hasn't had any in touch with in like 10 years because he's been off being a superstar. And it was just garbage. Garbage.
I can't think of anybody I find more repulsive than Martin Lawrence.
He's so bad. How did he? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't get it. Yeah. And the fact that they brought Bad Boys back, like the first one, it was, in my opinion, still bad, but it was still watchable.
No, it wasn't.
But then when they did Bad Boys 2, that was like, it jumped a cliff. Like it was just...
Which Bad Boys was it where they go careening down the hill, running over all these little shanties and everything, obviously murdering like hundreds of people as they mow through their houses, and we're supposed to go, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's Martin Lawrence.
Who writes this crap?
Apparently, does he write anything? Has he got
I don't
any writing credits?
He used to be a stand-up comedian. I would imagine he wrote some of his own garbage.
Well, you know what? You just put the icing on the giant cake that was my week this week. I almost had a perfect week. And now with you getting so much pain and suffering, it's just made it that much better.
Outstanding. Glad I could be of service, Jim. All right, sir. Once again.
Oh, God. I have a feeling I think this is the week. I have a feeling this is going to be the week.
Oh, I hope so. Okay, I have one in
I
my
hope
hand.
not, because I'm hoping that it's you. But,
So, here we go. No shenanigans.
All right. No, it's all above board,
in fact,
as they say.
All of mine are all folded up so you can't even see what they are. For crying out loud.
It's not?
It's not High School Musical 3.
Damn, I'm lucky. See, this week just keeps getting better.
It is a 1997 classic comedy.
All right, 1997.
I believe it stars Fran Drescher. What do you think?
Oh, I love Fran Drescher.
Who doesn't?
The Nanny.
Yeah.
All right, well, what's it called?
It's called The Beautician and the Beast.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you already dare to see this once?
No. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in my
Pretty sure
bag.
you did. Well, why have I seen this?
Recently?
I feel like I have. I have a feeling you dared me to see this already. Something tells me.
How did it get in my bag again?
I don't know, but if I have watched it before, this is going to be a pretty easy week for me because I just have to pull out my review from then.
Well, can't you go onto the computer and like type in The Beautician and the Beast? Don't you have all those on there?
Yeah.
Just see if you did. Now I'm curious.
Nope.
No? For sure?
Nope. It's not in there. Maybe it was before we started recording, but you know what? Doesn't matter. I know I've already seen this, so I can't wait to see it again. Fran Drescher. I love Fran Drescher. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't even do her justice.
We're both terrible at that.
She's so funny. Her laugh.
Yeah, actually, this is actually disappointing me because I know it's bad, but I don't know. It's probably not going to be. It's not going to be like Martin Lawrence bad.
Yeah, well, and it's also has Fran Drescher. I mean, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she can. Well, she was hilarious in Spinal Tap, and
she was the best thing in Spinal Tap.
What else was she hilarious in? She's good in Spinal Tap.
Yeah, so I mean, if she's good in Spinal Tap, she's good in everything,
yeah,
right?
She's not though.
And she was also.
But she was
good
awesome
as Eunice in Hotel
Transylvania.
Transylvania.
I don't know what that means.
She played a movie and she was in it.
Yeah, you're just talking jibber jabber.
She does one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get on with it.
Gets
Or get over with it.
Oh, Fran Drescher. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the God of Rage, or the Nerdy Photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!
John!